everyone. Thanks again for coming to a hall meeting. A little pushed back because of the storm, and I'm glad to see everyone here. Of course, tonight, the first meeting will be a special meeting for the election of the office of Deputy Speaker. And at this time, we're going to have Secretary Bermudez please read the roll call whenever she is ready. Please remain silent during roll call.
Okay. Heads up, I'm sorry if I butcher someone's last name. Robert Santuri Jr.
Here.
Philip Broder.
Here.
I'm here. Robert Smith.
Here.
Laura Howard.
Here.
Lori
Cepeda.
Cepeda, okay. Adam.
No.
Joss Estrella.
Here.
Adam Fay.
Here.
Brittany Rizzoco. Ashley Goldberg.
Here.
Jarrell James. Jason Johnson.
Here.
Thomas Lima.
Here.
Neftali Navarro. Olivia Phillips.
Here.
Toby Riceborough.
Here.
Derrik Trombley.
Here.
Oh wow, sorry, Michael.
Thank you.
It's fine.
So I get pretty worried.
Thank you.
you don't actually exist.
Yeah. Yeah, none of us exist. It's alright.
All right, guys.
Figures of imagination,
so,
man.
Yeah.
most of you know how this goes before, but we have some newbies in the room, so I'll explain it briefly. Tonight's first special election meeting is for the position of Deputy Speaker, which was vacated at the end of the semester.
Excuse me, first?
Yeah, we have. This is technically a meeting by itself, the election, and then after we have our official Parliament meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. It made
No.
it sound like you had more than one election.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not that I know of.
I just wanted to ask, just to
All
make
right,
sure.
so
Thank you, President.
no problem. Moving on. So anyway, what that means is we're going to be having the vote, and then I'll be reading off the leaves, and then the remarks from the candidate, and then balloting, and then remarks by whoever the deputy speaker elect is, and then we will adjourn for about 10-15 minutes for a recess, and then come back here for the regular meeting. So, first up, I have only one leave for this special election meeting. Dear Speaker Howard, I am sorry I'm not able to attend Parliament and the election due to recruitment. Have a good night and stay warm, everyone. Representative Pizzoco. Do I have a motion from Treasurer Smith, second from Speaker Howard?
Oh,
Because I can't do that too often. And is there any discussion on this leave at the time? No discussion, we move to a vote. All in favor of approving Representative Pizzoco's leave, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Abstentions at this time. Okay. Alright, so first up then, we have remarks by Kansas Deputy Speaker Derrik Trombley. When you are ready, please feel free to make your remarks. Because we don't have a stand this evening, I suggest standing in a place that would be easy for everyone to see you.
maybe like
Over here, over there.
I
I would suggest over
Head
there,
of the table
considering
there.
how everyone is.
over here.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there. Right there is good.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, please begin your remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Earlier today, President Santuri told me that my first speech to Parliament would say a lot about myself. So here it goes. You can vote for me or not. I'll do a good job whether I win or not, so it doesn't matter whether you vote for me or not. Thank you.
At this time, then, I'm going to ask 3 times. The magic phrase is 3 times, like Beetlejuice. At this time, are there any writing candidates for the position of Deputy Speaker? Are there any writing candidates for the position of Deputy Speaker? Are there any writing candidates for the position of Deputy Speaker? If there are no writing candidates for the position of Deputy Speaker, we'll move on to the balloting for Deputy Speaker. All right, so I'm going to pass these around the room if I can learn how to take this off. Please take one and pass the rest. You only get 1 ballot, by the way, guys. This is in Chicago.
Should they write a 1 in the upper right
Yes,
corner?
I was going to get to that. Thank you, Treasurer Smith, for reminding the body that.
Years of Exxon elections are probably well.
So, quick ballot, because we have newbies in the room, and some people, we don't see this too often. You have just please check off the candidate you choose to vote for in the box, and then please put the number 1 in the upper right corner, or otherwise your ballot is invalid, and we do not want your ballot to be invalid. And I will say that at this time, the necessary number of votes needed to win the election for Deputy Speaker is 10. So, with that being said, I will let you guys vote, and we'll go around collecting them in a moment. Okay, we'll be around in a second, guys.
okay,
Actually, Phil, when you're done voting, you go that side, I'll go this side.
Bueno.
Understand.
Wait, what are we at? Number
1. Please write 1. Don't write 2. Don't write 10. Don't write 2.
Better man, for the love of God. Too many accident
Like I said, yeah. There you go.
Too many years.
Did it.
Please, hold on, guys. If you're done, please remember to write 1 in the corner. We don't want to have 20 invalid ballots.
Yeah.
You're all set.
Yes.
And
I get wonderful.
She told me those ones too.
I was never told by my parents, but thank you. Me either.
I'm stealing your thing back.
Sounds good.
Were they discussing that legislation?
They only brought up legislation interest and that was on it, but they didn't discuss it.
Okay. Here, I'll give these to.
There's still one class after
It's Monday, 4 to 8.
She can talk.
No, it's my paper. Really?
Well, the first week, no, the first week was MLK Day. The second week, there was snow.
You're good.
Damn it, Josh. That's what it sounded like. You're writing up my paper. I was so proud of it. You ruined it. You know what, Josh?
We're gonna have a majority here, I swear to God.
I think we will.
We should be fine.
Did you actually vote?
Yes, I actually voted straight up. I
Because these
wasn't.
unopposed elections, people are writing jokes.
But there's no point. They've been trying to pose. Just stop screwing.
Remember when Jack Waffle went against you?
Yes.
And we went for like 3 or 4 rounds because someone voted back. Well, what's it? Somebody voted. Alright, well, Jack Waffle was really opposed. Jimmy was right. We had to go 3 or 4 rounds. But people kept voting back.
Yeah, I wasn't in it.
Really? We had to keep going to another round because you need a clear majority.
Yes.
Most people
And
can.
eventually Jimmy won.
Literally, there were people that side.
It's that's what it always looks like when it's recording.
I was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, that little thing is always shaking out.
Fine.
It always distracts me during meetings. Like
Cox.
He's really just there for the giant TV.
Yes.
Monday tomorrow.
He got screwed over.
I'm good.
They're trying to switch over to Verizon for the last 2 weeks.
Why? Verizon's like, eh.
No, they're trying to switch from Verizon to Cox.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Verizon's
But like, it depends on where you are, honestly. Like some spots on Verizon just doesn't work. Yeah,
I've never had a problem.
where are you?
It's right here.
No. Oh my God. Where do you live?
Cumberland.
Okay, see, there you go. That's
I
why.
can't get it in Timberland yet.
Really?
Files.
Yeah.
I got it at your house. Verizon.
I'm talking about files.
Yeah, dude. Like
So all three.
the service that you get and like where you are, major like
I didn't know
dependence.
they were on Twitter.
I'll like tweet about how bad they are, and someone will tweet back and be like, "Hi Laura, like how can I help you?"
Byzantine. Remember that show? That was a show. That was a show. So
They have a new album coming out.
I know. Did you hear their single?
Huh?
Did you hear the single? You gotta listen to it. It's so good. They put it out like yesterday.
Alright, I'll go listen to it.
So when we're out of here, we'll put it on.
Alright, do you know the name of it?
The Curious Lot. They put it out, and so did Metal Hammer, I believe.
Metal Hammer did?
Metal Hammer did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Byzantine linked it on their own profile, so you can find it.
Right?
Mike.
Wait, what?
No,
Okay.
I'll show you later.
All right.
Oh. Metal Hammer put it out though?
Cool. Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yeah. If you can't find it through them, find it through Byzantines. They linked it.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. That's way easier.
Potato.
I mean, don't go too easy.
We do not. Give you guys. Bang, bang, bang. We do not. Thank you. We do not have majority consensus on the first ballot.
What?
Round 1 results as follows: Derrik Trombley, 8 votes. Toby Riseborough, 5 votes. Invalid, 2 votes. We're gonna immediately move to the second round of voting at this time. I will pass out the ballots again. Please write a number 2 in the right corner this time. Please do not forget. Do not write 1. Do not write 5. Do not write 20. Write 2.
Wait, Ashley. Ashley, I know about it.
You gotta read the invalid too.
Is she taking
No, you
it?
don't.
Is she taking it?
Yeah, it is actually. But whatever. Boom. No.
If you want, yeah.
Mike? Yeah.
Does anyone has one, please let me know. I'll collect them as we go. I'll be around a second, guys. Just hold them up, hold them high. Get some arm exercises.
I already have one.
Alright, my mom's cool.
Alright, I'm gonna go around and collect them at this time.
When he comes back, we'll give it to
I'll
him.
come around.
Jason has like 10 ballots.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Take the
Wait, I need to vote.
Oh. I thought you already had one. I'm sorry.
That's quite alright, Jason. It's not your fault. I don't.
Thank you.
I don't think the board ad like that very much.
Probably not.
Okay. Has anyone not voted at this time? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. Last call for votes. Anyone have a vote that didn't vote this time? Okay, I'm gonna go outside and count them again. Bill and Adam, when you're ready.
I'm scared to eat anything that's made so I just go like
Completely fair. I don't blame you.
I like go to the sushi and I'm like
The people who work here, very nice.
yeah, very
The product,
nice
not great.
Yeah.
I would say the same
Best
thing
bet:
about every
sushi,
job.
PB&J, and chips. And the drinks, because
Would not
a couple of drinks.
I
Yeah.
recommend moving out of Rhode Island and staying out of a 100-mile radius.
Rhode Island isn't
I agree.
bad. I like
But then I've gone to states where they don't dirt the roads, they salt the roads, and they plow it properly, and I go, I wish
we have such a small budget.
we have no money. 1938 Studios.
He's right. Yeah.
Oh, Red Sox
God.
player? We'll give you money.
I don't want to talk about
We'll give
38
you
Studios. It
We
was so
can't clean your
bad.
tap water or pay for your kids' education.
I know. It's so awful. The whole thing with 38 Studios is just like, it's a complete
Or
like
stop me on turning
clam show. It's really
certain
bad.
things because they offend you to my very core. So please stop.
I'll never stop you, Rob Smith.
Oh, you're terrible.
Are you a theater major?
No, I'm a
Become one.
No, I hate music.
Do it, Rob.
He'd be a great history major.
Musical. I only like Sweetie Tots.
I was a musical.
Like as
I
a
know. I can tell.
You remember those days? Those happy
Musical-
days at the Rick Theater Department?
Oh, good lord.
I don't have.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Is what the overall point. Oh god, people listening.
A little bit. A little bit. Just a little bit.
You look fine.
Tots.
Laura, you look fabulous. It's a wonderful sweater. Where did you get it?
My mother got it for me for Christmas, actually.
She
Thank you
did.
for asking.
I enjoy judging people when they shop. I don't know
Is
why.
her 20
Why is it so quiet?
Probably north.
No idea.
what the tag says.
I really don't
Doris,
care, Laura.
remember our list last night that we went
Thank
through?
you. I agree. The basic.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yes, you.
Are you
Talking shit.
Yes,
I'm
you're that
basic.
list. You're that list.
Really?
No.
Yeah. I didn't
Swear jar.
I'm sorry.
I was 13.
I'm wearing something with buttons on the zipper. I think I'm good.
Is that what's going on here?
I'm always talking shit.
That's my life.
Is my phone dead yet?
Always.
Yeah.
Is your phone dead? That's a real question.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
That's the 50%
Yep.
page meetings Doris and I went through it last night. We counted how many of those we hit.
So Jason, how's
I was
Jarrell? I haven't
not
seen him
good
for a
day.
while.
Not
You
even
know,
that.
last time I saw him, he was doing pretty good. I saw him today actually.
I should die for 5 minutes. He's an accounting major now.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Why would you put running pictures of this?
Me
It's
too.
like a decent
I don't know why. I don't think he. I could call him.
Should
I
be
don't.
accounting
Yeah,
major.
that's true.
Yeah. I don't think he knew that polling was tonight because he doesn't check his email very often. Funnily enough.
Yeah, you'll be loaded.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell him tomorrow because I can talk to him
Till
tomorrow.
he fires me.
So I mean, he'll have to,
Andrew actually posted. Holy God.
he'll have to
How
write a
many
retroactive
zeros?
leave. I'm pretty sure. He'll be fine. He'll
Like
be fine.
shaking off of like coffee.
Are you guys coming to play tomorrow?
What play?
No, are you guys coming to play D&D tomorrow?
Oh, no, we're gonna be in the office. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's what Zach told me anyway. Because it's just like we would, but we want to disturb you and tell when you guys are trying to sleep at like 11.
Isn't
we're
it so
just like-
entertaining?
They're playing Texas
When they're in the
Hold'em,
office, I
21?
watch all the things.
They watch too. It's hilarious. If you have a
Right?
small audience,
Laura,
It's like-
come to the office and watch. I'll join you and we'll eat popcorn.
it's like
so entertaining.
No, no,
Playing
it's-
at the English Cellar.
no. It's like Laura, Tyler,
Or the
and
Abbey.
like Alex.
Yeah.
They just sit
The
there
Abbey's
like a
Oh my god,
tiny
it's so
circle.
funny. We literally sit in a circle.
Yeah, no, it's
Every
PC.
Thursday night,
Like,
It's
The
hilarious.
American economy is
And
1970s,
Laura.
This is
the average is
amazing.
Laura, next week is gonna be
I agree
all
with you,
like
but-
tomorrow is gonna be all
Um,
combat. Funnily enough, so you
go
can
to
see like the
Boneheads,
nitty gritty
wings,
of the
you know,
game, like all
get
the
some
math that
wings
goes
and
on in it.
The Abbey's such a yee.
So if you come to the okay, so yeah,
It was good.
Pathfinder every Thursday.
You play Dungeons and Dragons?
Myself and
They
a
got
bunch
beer
of other
bongs now.
people.
They have beer
We
bongs.
all play Pathfinder.
The only way I get through this.
It's a tabletop role-playing game. You can look it up on the internet if you want to go figure out what it is really easy.
I watched enthusiastically.
My name is Jason.
What is taking
Nice to
so
meet
long?
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like
It's all in one word.
Parliament and half one, half.
That first should take you right to it. Yes. Yes.
You guys have to make sure your shit's cleaned up because we have middle school coming on Friday.
Oh, really?
So just make sure at the end of the night all your games have
What?
to
Does Zach know?
Sorry,
Yes.
that came out
Okay.
He is
bad.
aware.
What do you do in?
I told him, I was like, all your games
Oh,
have
he
to
said
be
he
put
said
away
that.
like in chunks.
Sorry, what do you do in Muffins?
Oh no, we'll make sure everything is nice and sparkly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in there tomorrow night cleaning and stuff.
Alright,
Go
cool.
to my friend's house.
He doesn't drink Pepsi.
Oh, thank you, Treasurer Smith. After the second round of voting, we did not have a majority consensus.
Oh my God.
The wait is due to a need to get more ballots. Currently at this time, we have 8 votes for Derrik Trombley, 4 for Toby Riseborough, and 3 invalid. When I get back, I'm gonna explain how to vote. Guys, really, we need to vote properly. I'll explain when I get back. But thank you for your meeting.
Any write-in candidates after no one applies for a write-in are invalid automatically according to Robert's order. Is what he's going to explain when he gets back.
SCG policy also states you have to put a number 2 in the corner to explain the round of voting.
It'll be
So
3
round
this
is
time
three.
around.
Three.
Yep.
Thank you,
So
Tom.
put it
Just
for
check off
Pay you
next
for
to the
something.
Please just
valid
put it for
name. Or no vote if you
Yeah.
don't want to vote.
Yeah.
Abstention is always an option in democracy. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Cannot abstain.
Well, yeah, we'll be playing in the office tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you guys will be relatively like unbothered. So to
You
speak.
guys really don't bother us until it gets to be like midnight and I'm like trying to fall asleep.
Yeah. No. The
And
problem.
even when I
that's
texted Sam last time, like you guys were fine after she like.
yeah. No.
it
The
wasn't-
thing.
It's really not even a big deal if you guys want to go to the house.
The thing is, it kind of kills the mood when we're all trying to whisper to one another. And it's not your fault. No, we can understand entirely that, some people just need to sleep. I get it. But it's like,
Some people. God.
no, see, I'm an insomniac, so I don't really need to sleep. I get 2 hours a night, and that's it.
It's like you're
And I
70.
function.
Function.
You know what? You know what? You're lucky I like you.
I'm lucky I like me too. Share an office, you should know that.
Yeah, exactly. This is what happens.
Laura, was that excused from this one, or did I just write in for Parliament?
You read it for Parliament.
Yeah, but
Yes.
no.
Well, I'm on time for
I'm
Parliament.
talking to this one over here.
Yes, you are.
Trying to get
Trombley, listen to Mark. He knows
I
what he's
am
talking about.
adorable, thank you.
a little bit,
My face is literally on fire.
little bit,
Derek last
just a little.
People ask me if I'm
We're
a
just here
Mormon.
for $20.
They ask if it's an alias, and I go,
I know.
no, my
Really
parents
is
hated
so
me. I'm
good.
actually a junior. So my parents hated me twice.
Logical.
Yeah,
Robert
unfortunately.
Kane Jr.?
I shit you not.
No, not
So am I, actually.
Yeah, but look, this is.
Jason Johnson.
No, you cannot.
No, my dad's name is Jason Lee.
Johnson?
No.
Oh.
Johnson's from my mom's side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my full name is Jason Travers Lee Johnson. It's supposed to be Jason Travers Lee Johnson Jr., but it's a technicality in the naming system.
That doesn't fit on a diploma.
It doesn't, not even a little bit. So they're just like, no, just put it as Jason Johnson, leave it alone.
Yeah.
So they have two middle names, so it's like, no, we're not doing this. So I was actually supposed to be Jason Johnson Jr., but my mom was like, well, his father's name is Jason Lee, so he can't be a junior. And they were, and they were just like, well, whatever, we're not gonna fight this. Do whatever you want. And me being like 11 when this happened, I was like, I really don't care either way. Not to me. I'm just gonna put Jason Johnson on my paperwork anyway. I don't care if it's
fascinating debate about my secret.
Oh, 40 tonight.
What was the books being
We're just here for $20.
What kids wear.
Thank you, Treasurer Smith. Alright, guys, so get into two things. One, after a second round of voting per the election policy, if there is not a majority, declared candidates have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. So if they wish to, so at this time, Representative Trombley, you have 5 minutes to speak if you wish to. If not, you don't have to speak, but it's up to you. And you can just say, what you want to say about voting.
Hey guys.
Go ahead. Zach.
Hey guys. Let's get this done. Thank you.
So, okay guys, so,
Point of order.
I'm going to explain ballot. So, in order to be an official ballot this round, you need to put a 3 in the right corner, and you need to check off the person you wish to vote for. If you are going to do a writing in person, you need to check off that person. You need to check off the box here and then write name in. If you do not check it off, it does not count as a ballot. I'm going to ask that you guys take this seriously and please vote at this time. So I will pass them out. Please vote, and when you are done, please hold it up, and we will commence voting. Okay, we'll pass these out.
I have some here.
We'll pass them out. Sir.
Josh, I swear to God. Thank you. Here you go.
You swear?
No?
Yeah, please, guys, fill it out correctly. I don't want to have to count more invalid ballots. I'm going to come back around this way.
I feel like we need to talk to you after the elections.
Sean's my friend. That's French.
Elections?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that would work too.
That, yeah.
Either way, it's up to you.
Huh?
I forgot about the reasons too.
Alright, guys. So,
It's fine. It's fine.
at this time,
I can wait.
At this time, I'm going to ask if there's any other ballots out there that need to be counted. If not, I'm going to go count. Okay?
Nice t-shirt.
Thank you. We will hopefully get some for all the members.
She goes, nice t-shirt. It says SCG.
You gotta love the logic, right? It's not my fault at all. Exact opposite.
Was
I
it
don't
you?
No, you never said that.
I'm pretty sure it goes without saying.
No, it doesn't go without saying.
It should.
It should.
Picking up on things.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta be at 6 or 8 if they do
I got
bullshit
you.
like that.
Yes.
Aren't we all?
So annoying.
Aren't we all?
I do my best to make for whatever.
Mark was just talking about that, I think.
No, yeah, Rob, I
I'm
don't.
blind and need glasses.
Like
again.
it.
Get that up your face.
Now that he told me he's a history major, I like see him as a history teacher.
Me?
No,
makes a good point, too.
I can see his picture.
I mean,
here.
you guys
random.
You guys
Huh?
can.
You should continue to think of his name.
If you guys really want to,
High voltage.
I would just find out where specifically. Ideally, because
was
you're
in the first, actually, I
so
could've
vote
checked
on
next to
charity, vote on your kid.
Yes, I did.
I would just, you guys just got a food too. Wow, this is great.
Honestly, that like that thing popped up and I was like,
You know you pay at McDonald's now with McLovin until Valentine's Day during certain times.
If you guys want to do it, you
So
can
like,
just find out
you
where.
can give an
I
employee a
mean,
visit.
We'll watch after the wash and tape later.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Sure, no matter what charity it is. As long as it's not the
Yeah.
Kane John.
I don't know what
And
it
it's a really not a good time for McDonald's to get there.
I still love that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's up to your club if you want to do it, because you're really just collecting donations. But what anyone can do, whether you're a club or
Yeah, well,
I would just find out where it's going to, and then after that, it's up to you.
thanks.
I
If you get
applied
other
to be
clubs
an
to
RA
co-sponsor, you
Good for
can.
you. Are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no
You probably
problem.
look great, alright.
Right?
Charity.
That's what I
I already
said.
know charity.
I was like, I think I'm great, but like, I toned it down.
Because the library does this drive all the time. Any books you give to them so that they don't want, they donate to someone else.
I don't live on campus, so I think it'd be fun
Oh,
to
yeah.
be here.
That would be, yeah, because you get a free,
Yeah.
free,
You can
do that?
housing, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
yeah.
I think you might regret a few nights here and there, but.
Regret what?
Why do you so defensive?
I don't know. I thought you were talking about dorm life. I was like, regret your roommates?
She's like, what's that idea?
Season of my life. Hell yeah, I would do.
What if I
Yeah.
Good point. Said a lady. I was born at night. I wasn't born last night.
Hey, no, nothing like
Said a
it.
lady. No.
We make life
I got
interesting.
matched with my RA on Tinder. I'll keep you guys updated. I was like,
Why don't you show us that
okay.
I don't think I
Your
want
shorts are too short.
No, I saw it on YouTube.
That's
Oh. You're covered with your hands.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's probably true.
oh no, yeah. Definitely. Act like nothing's going on.
The dorms are kind of depressing.
Yeah.
They're over there counting.
You're not in New York.
I'm not in any
Fonzie.
so it's all-
They're like prison cells, honestly.
Yeah. But it's
If it's
like
not New Holland,
an extra foreign
It's
ride.
like 1930s Soviet Russia. It's okay, the college is good.
Like that window is bare.
I mean, personally, if I was you, I would do that anyway, but I think other people don't understand.
I saw some people.
That's how you do it.
After there are 3 rounds of voting, we do not have majority consensus. The vote count is as follows: Derrik Trombley, 9 votes; Toby Riseborough, 4 votes; invalid, 2 votes. We will immediately commence to a 4th round of voting. The number of votes necessary to win an election is 10. We will commence with balloting at this time.
Yeah, except you know, no one just
All right, guys, ballots will be passed around in a second. Yours.
This is such a waste of paper.
Yours.
It is what it
Jim
is.
Murphy.
Joshua.
Please write number 4 in the top right corner.
4.
4. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. 4 in the top right corner. Be sure to check off.
Tops if you speak.
Make sure spellings are correct.
Okay.
Make sure.
Phil, do you have more ballots over there?
No.
Wait, where else?
Adam. Hey.
A little bit.
1 second, guys.
I tried it once in public and then
Wait, where are these ballots?
The big pastor.
Okay.
Not gonna matter.
Hold on.
Or did the entire.
You're fabulous.
Sorry. Just pass it down.
Someone's doing it as a practical joke.
What's that?
I gotta take it. Yes. Other than me, that's it.
I think I have to count these. I thought we can vote all. I don't think you just have a blank ballot. I don't know if it counts.
Thank you, Phil.
Anyone not get a ballot, by the way, guys? I just want to make sure. 1 second. 1 second.
corporations. Centuri is single-handedly destroying the corporation.
Anybody still have a vote? Anybody still have a valid vote there?
I'm an adult. I watch real people shows like Friends, where it's realistic and the characters are people. I'm making fun because it's I also watch cartoons. I have the first 4 seasons.
I watch Seinfeld.
Laura, I have the first 4 seasons of Central Time on DVD. I want them the day they came out.
Okay, well, I guess I can forgive you for dissing animation.
Did you see that video of like the Friends theme song without the music?
No.
So what?
I like
Non-existent.
Maximal Thrift Shop without the music because it shows up on
This is so weird.
Alright guys, does anyone else still have a vote out there? Just want to make sure.
That's a blank one?
Guys.
It's extra. So I
Oh,
just
guess
put it
mine.
That's a blank one.
I mean, no one gets to
I'll
vote
again.
You're not a Kennedy now.
Don't even be Rob.
No, Dr. Kane's.
Dr. Kane.
Be right back, guys.
Imagine he's the tiebreaker. It's all on Dr. Kane the whole time.
Why didn't they do this during the Gore and Bush elections?
This is parliamentary.
Oh.
It's not American, it's British. There's like a specific rules, there's a specific rule book that they made during the Civil War about this.
Updated. It's updated. It's updated.
Like, Your Eyes has a student senate which follows more American rules.
But they all follow Robert's rules because
Katie,
that's
this reminds me
American.
of your status
And
video
voting
today.
procedures
The
are
weird
defined in that
faces.
book.
The weird faces.
Our voting system,
I
our
can tell them,
board
and I'm like-
system, it's not like a senate, it's like a parliament.
I think it's easier this
When you go down to the office after Parliament,
Yeah.
it's like the I'll give you paperwork for New York.
They have
Everyone's
like
different. I would agree. Everyone's
Yes, I'm working next week.
Never.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
I don't
So
like
if you can fill it out tonight, it's really easy to fill out.
No, everyone would agree with you.
Once you sign that paperwork, you are in to go. You can't go, you're not paying for it.
You're joking.
So keep that in mind. I'm down.
I think I made.
No, Josh, you're not rooming with us.
Someone in my class today said they thought Lord of the Rings was stupid, and I was literally
Right, alright. Do they want
The what? Oh, the soap drawing? Yeah. Do you remember that?
like, do you want each
Yours
other? I
is
literally,
so-
like, I was in class and I literally just went like,
Josh was on the phone, I'm you.
and I think I just cracked my heart in half.
Lord of the Rings came on one day and I was like, oh, you used to love watching this when you were like 6. And I'm like, really? Really?
When I was like 10, Nicholas is the only person I thought I would ever love for the rest of my life.
Who?
Oh my god.
I thought my life was
That's bad.
gonna end in the hands of Liz.
And I
going
almost
after
fell off the
Harvey.
bed.
No.
Thank you, Treasurer Smith. You're considered being speaker.
It pays less never.
Thank you for that.
True.
Okay, guys, after a fourth round of balloting, we do have a majority consensus. With 10 votes, Derrik Trombley. 4 votes, Toby Riseborough. 10 votes, Derrik Trombley. 5 votes, Toby Riseborough. And no invalids. Derrik Trombley is elected the next deputy speaker. I'm required to read this, so I will read it as such. Derrik Trombley, having received the majority of votes cast, is hereby declared to have been elected to the office of Deputy Speaker for the rest of the remainder of the 2014-2015 academic year. So, guys, let me go back around the table. Literally across the table. Sorry, guys. All right. So, at this time, remarks by the Deputy Speaker-elect, if you wishes to make any.
Thank you. That is all.
Okay. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do at this time is we are going to adjourn for what time is it?
7:45.
We're gonna adjourn to 8 o'clock. 13 minutes. We'll adjourn to 8 o'clock. So when we be here at 8 o'clock.
Don't we need a motion to adjourn?
We are. But I'm saying be here at 8 o'clock, guys. So I'm seeking a motion to adjourn to 8 o'clock. Motion
Second.
from Speaker Howard. Second from Representative Johnson. Any discussion on adjourning till 8?
If you ever
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Extensions at a time. We are adjourned to 8. Hopefully, we'll see you all 8 o'clock here in this room. Thank you.
Hey, I would like to call the meeting of February 4th, 2015 to order. Please stay silent while Secretary Bermudez reads the call.
Here.
Laura Howard.
Here.
Rory
Cepeda. Yep.
Adam Dutra. Josh Estrella.
Here.
Adam Page.
Here.
Brittany Frizzoco. Michael Gianmarco.
Here.
Ashley Goldberg.
Here.
Jarrell James. Jason Johnson.
Here.
Thomas Lima.
Here.
Nathalie Navarro.
Here.
Olivia Phillips.
Here.
Sophie Riceborough.
Here.
Derrik Trombley.
Here.
Scott Kane.
Here.
Michelle Bowman.
Here.
Mark Paolucci.
Here.
Hillary Costa.
Costa.
Costa. Sorry.
Costa.
Sorry.
Okay, will
Oh,
everyone
man.
please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Where's the flag?
I
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, seeking a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Second.
Motion from Representative Fage, second from Representative Johnson. Is there any discussion on the agenda tonight? Representative Estrella.
I have a question in regards to the agenda. On page 4, there's stated that President Centuri would include the minutes for SEC, and they're not there, so I was just wondering why.
Yep. I can answer that, Representative Estrella. The reason why they're not there officially is because in order to present minutes to the body, they have to have gone through committee. So I will tell you this, and I wanted to bring it up in my announcement, that I do have the SEC minutes from that meeting, but I don't want to break procedure and present minutes that have not been passed by the SEC body itself. So if you're interested in seeing them, feel free to see me after the meeting, and I can print them out, show you a copy, give you a copy, whatever you want.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Representative Johnson.
I would like to strike or ask about item 8, letter D, the 11th update, and due to Hillary's absence, like to strike that item from the
No, you're
list.
not.
Can we skip her automatically?
Oh,
As
I thought
when-
you had to strike that from the agenda.
No, as when the other updates have been absent, we typically just skip over it entirely. out of-
Okay, I just
Yes.
never we've never been over this before, so I didn't know.
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
That yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Representative Lima.
Just to follow up on Representative Estrella's question, is there a timeline where the SEC will be meeting to approve those minutes?
To answer your question, Representative, if you don't mind me speaking out of
Oh.
what I will say right now is first the executive board has to discuss more about what we want, what direction we want to take with the SEC, and from there we would present to the body, and from there we would talk to the SEC itself. I could call a phone vote for the SEC simply to pass the minutes, but I think that in order to satisfy curiosity, I think making them available would satisfy that. If the body does want to see the minutes themselves here, I can call that phone vote, but I don't want to waste the time of the members of the SEC for the simple, but without presenting more information about the direction we want to take the SEC. One other thing I will say with the SEC right now is that the executive board and I still have to talk about the policy itself. For example, the making back 20%, the time limit or lack thereof in case of trying to get funds, the concert fund. The entire policy needs to be looked at, and a lot of it needs to be revised because of the language or due to the logistic problems that arise because of the policy. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, just simple housekeeping.
Yeah.
I mean, SEC may or may not be need to be revamped.
Yeah.
Just housekeeping from last semester.
Yeah.
I can make a phone call or whatever.
Does that
Thank you.
answer-
That's it. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on the approval of the agenda today? With no more discussion, we move to a vote. All those in favor of approving today's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Agenda is passed. Next, I am seeking a motion for the approval of the minutes of January 21st, 2015. Motion, Treasurer Smith, second, Representative Riseborough. Is there any discussion on these minutes? With no discussion, we move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of January 21st, 2015, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are passed. Next we move to open forum. Is there anyone here for open forum? Is there anyone here for open forum? Is there anyone here for open forum? With no one here for open forum, we move to officers' announcements. President Santuri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Speaker Howard. Again, welcome back, everyone. Great to see everyone here this evening, especially considering the setback for all snow recently, but glad you're here in a different venue tonight, once again, nevertheless. I'm going to be speaking later on a bit more in the meeting, so I'll try to keep my remarks right now as brief as I can keep myself, in terms of myself, brief, so you know how that would go. First, I will mention, it's in relation to the later item, that there are a couple resolutions that I'm hoping will be coming down the pike next meeting. So if you guys are interested in co-sponsoring or finding more about them, please let me know. They include the green trash bins on the quad that we previously discussed. I gotta speak to Mr. Murphy about that. The ID card holder resolution, I'll be working with Dr. Kane on that. And we are also discussing, the executive board and I, about the legislation that Dr. Kane brought to the advisor's attention last week in relation to what's going on in the Rhode Island House right now. So if you guys are interested in any resolutions about that, please see me after the meeting. I'll be happy to inform you more. Just to keep you guys updated about housekeeping stuff, the water filling station on the second floor of Donovan, right over there, through the door, is hopefully going to be installed within the next week or so. There have been delays, obviously, with the weather we've been having, so the installation's been pushed back, but authors assured me that they're trying their very best, and I wholeheartedly believe him. So hopefully we'll be seeing that soon. When it is, you guys will hopefully know. If not, I'm sure I'll tell you during the meeting. I'll be very happy about it. Another thing, extended library hours. Tova, the interim head of the library, is supposed to let me know later this week about the proposal that she made to Dr. Pitt about the extended library hours to midnight during the semester. In terms of Brown Hall printing, I am just waiting to hear back from Res Life on that one, so when I hear back from them, I'll let you know. Furthermore, speaking of Res Life as such, the suggestion boxes, which were purchased at the end of last semester, will be implemented now that we have a new deputy speaker this meeting. So that would be, I guess, task number 1 or 2 for Deputy Speaker Trombley on that matter. In other news, I will be going, hopefully, to finance within the next month or so for the other charging station in Donovan that's been previously discussed. I talked to Dr. Lavin about QPR training this semester because I do really want that to happen. I want it to happen in the month of February, but with all these delays, having it during free period is not going to be very likely because most of our meetings take place then, but perhaps during on Wednesday if there's interest. I wanted to have it on February 25th, but Active Minds is having an event in, I believe, the ballroom at 307 for National Eating Disorder Week, and I don't want to. And then they're gonna have a speaker, so I don't want to, do that when they're doing that event. So I will let you guys know when I speak to Dr. Lavin and find out what the date. I also wanted to just say briefly that I hope everyone, if you didn't, you missed a really great student showcase today. Over 50, 60 organizations we have here on campus, and there was a pretty strong turnout today from all of them, just about, I would say. And there was a lot of great clubs doing a lot of creative things, trying to get new members, and it was really great to see. I was lucky enough to be one at the SUG table, trying to get people to join. And I will say that we have a lot of great clubs on campus, and I look forward to seeing the things I'm going to do this semester. And with that, Speaker Howard, I'm all set.
Okay. Vice President Broder, the floor is yours.
How's it going, everybody? So, just a couple things. Tomorrow will be the beginning of the declaration period for the vacancies left by former PR Director Liz DeRuggiero, which will will be a senior class representative spot and the junior class treasurer spot. Those will be, the declaration begins tomorrow. It'll run for 2 weeks, and then the following Tuesday after that will be the election all day. I'm going to be deciding in the meantime whether or not it's just going to be paper ballots or if we're going to bring VoteNet into the picture. I will make that decision probably tomorrow. And then other things, tomorrow at 5 is the deadline for anybody who still wants to declare their interest in being the PR director. I have 2 people on the list right now. Interviews will be held next week, and then probably early next week, and then I will have a PR director about mid next week. So if you know anybody that still might be interested, or if you are interested yourself, tomorrow at 5 will be the end of your ability to declare. And then last thing is just that, like President Santori said, we had a pretty good showing at the Student Activities Day down in the ballroom, and we had a few people express interest for different committees and being on Parliament, so I sent out an email, and hopefully we will have a few new members for next meeting. And that is all I have.
Okay, Secretary Ramirez, the floor is yours. Okay, Treasurer Smith, the floor is yours.
Hello all. Today, because of snow, marked the last day that clubs could have handed in their budget packets. From all the snow from last week and this week, we extended the deadline until 5 p.m. today, and I have been told that only 3 clubs did not hand in their package, which is fantastic because we have dozens and dozens of organizations, and of course, we all being college students, we all wait until the last minute to do it, as most clubs did. I know I did. Since then, I haven't really had much to do for the past 2 weeks. I would like everyone to take note that we do have a conspicuous absence here tonight. Mr. Hoviak, for personal reasons, is not here, and wonderful Doris is taking notes. So if you could speak a little, if you could be patient with her as she tries to adapt to the process. And I'm Doris, and doing something nice. And if you could just thank her for something she doesn't typically do, you really don't know how much you appreciate something until you go without it. It is what I'm trying to say. I'm terrible with words. Other than that, that's my announcements, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
It's true.
I only have 3 leaves here for you guys today. Dear Laura, I'm sorry I am not able to attend Parliament / the election due to recruitment. Have a good night and stay warm, everyone. Smiley face. Brittany Verzoko. Motion from President Santuri, second from Representative Johnson. Is there any discussion on this leave? With no discussion, we move to a vote. All those in favor of approving this leave, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Leave
Yeah, that passes. You don't have to read off the other 2.
passes.
You don't have to read off the other 2.
Why not?
'Cause they-
Oh, right. So I only have 1 leave for you guys because the other 2 are here. Aside from that, I really don't have any announcements. So, Deputy Speaker Trombley, the floor is yours.
Before Deputy Speaker Trombley speaks, we have to, of course, have the swearing in somebody as it is for any SEG officer. So, Deputy Speaker Trombley, if you want to come over this way, so we can meet in the middle, maybe. At this time. It's good. I want to make sure we get a decent camera. You good? Okay. Alright, so please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Derrik Trombley,
I, Derrik Trombley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of Deputy Speaker
the office of Deputy Speaker
of Rhode Island College Student Parliament
of Rhode Island College Student Parliament
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
protect and uphold the bylaws of SEG.
protect and uphold the bylaws of SCG.
I will promote a sense of community
I will promote a sense of community
and foster the growth of student interest
and foster the growth of student interest
and welfare as a whole,
and welfare as a whole,
and honor the integrity of the mission
and honor the integrity of the mission
of Student Parliament and all of its committees and commissions thereof.
of Student Parliament and all of its committees
Commissions.
and commissions thereof.
Congratulations. All right. otherwise it's not official.
That's the important part.
And you get to keep the pen too, guys. That's how special this is.
Oh boy.
Here's my pen.
Of course you do. Oh, people
So, Deputy Speaker Trombley, the floor is yours for your announcements.
Thank you very much, Speaker Howard. God, I like that title. But first thing I want to do is I'd like to thank Doris for her dedicated work. We were told to thank her, so I'm thanking her. Thank you. And since I'm Deputy Speaker, I will be handling the suggestion boxes, and I will get started on that as soon as possible, and hopefully pick up where Sam Mandeville left off. She was very great in this position, and sad to see her go, but you know, it promotes my career, so I'm happy. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Okay, with that we move to reports. Is the representative for the Rixas? Is the representative for Rixas here? Since the representative is not here, we will be seeking a motion to table this report until the next meeting.
Second.
Motion from President Santuri, second from Representative Riseborough. Is there any discussion on tabling this report to the next Parliament meeting?
Could I just ask what Rixes is?
It's the social studies educators group on campus.
Thank you.
They started this past semester.
I've never heard of it before, so I was just curious.
Well, you are a communications major, therefore you will not know.
Perfectly fine.
Okay, does that
And English, by the way.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, we move to a vote. All those in favor of tabling the Rixes conference report to the next meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? That report is tabled. Next, we move to the Finance Commission minutes of January 21st, 2015. Treasurer Smith, the floor is yours.
Well, these are now the minutes of 2 weeks ago. I believe they're the shortest Finance Commission minutes we have on record. I think, 2 pages now? Mary was very grateful. I just asked that they be accepted with unanimous consent, as they've already been accepted and passed in committee.
Are there any objections to this report, the minutes rather, being accepted with unanimous consent? With no objections, they are accepted with unanimous consent. Next, we move to Student Organization Committee minutes of December 3rd, 2014. Secretary Bermudez, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Speaker Howard. Okay, so these minutes are my soft minutes from last semester. We didn't discuss anything this meetings. Honestly, it was just to do the favors for the holiday party, and that's about it. So I asked that these be accepted in unanimous consent.
Are there any objections to these minutes being accepted with unanimous consent? With no objections, we move to a vote. Oh, just kidding. With that, they are accepted with unanimous consent. Next, we move to new business. Resolution idea discussion. President Santuri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Speaker Howard. So, you guys are probably wondering what this discussion item is supposed to be or mean. The general idea I have behind this is that, quick show of hands, who here was a member of Student Parliament last February? I think. A lot of people. This is not open. Sorry, I don't have my elbow room. The elbow room.
Amen.
So, it's not an NBA game. All right. So, my apologies. So, there's a lot of new people in the room, to say the least. And what SCG, one of the things that Student Parliament does for those, because we have some really new people in the room, is we not just discuss, constitutions and reports, and have our announcements as the executive board, but we also present resolutions to the body in order to advocate or promote for something here on campus or something at Rhode Island College as a general whole. And I want to just, because I've been here a while now. Actually, this month makes 3 years on Student Parliament, so I've been here quite a bit of time. And I just wanted to talk about real quick a couple of resolution ideas that have been put forth in the past, just briefly name them and say what they are, to hopefully maybe give some ideas to student members now, because some of these things have been done, some of them have not, and it's just a general, I'm trying to promote the idea of passing more resolutions. I will say right now that if you have an idea after this meeting and you want to try and pass something, or you have something you want to see happen on campus, but you're not really sure how to have it happen, please see myself or Chief of Staff Riseborough about any questions, and we'll try to answer them best we can, and we'll try to help you, accomplish having a resolution of Parliament. So a couple things I said were coming down the pike before, which is having the green bins on the quad to promote sustainability here on campus. It's something that I've been really, in the executive board, I've been really pushing this year with the water filling station and being involved in green up cleanup. And sustainability is very important here at the college. I also mentioned the ID card holder and also the resolution pertaining to the current sexual assault. I actually have the bill in front of me right here, related to the sexual assault things that are currently going on in the Rhode Island House. So that will be maybe coming down the pike. I know I'll be speaking with the Women's Center and Dr. Kane in consultation about perhaps doing something with that. And also two ideas that are rummaging around my head since September, I guess you would call it, related to transfer students and also advising. I've been working graciously with Dr. Bush Behrman this semester on advising, and she's been helpful and patient with answering any and all my questions pertaining to that. So I'm hoping to have something more down the road for that. But just a couple of things just to name some ideas about resolutions. And if you guys have a question or have a resolution idea of your own, feel free to bring it up or whatever have you. So here's a quick some of the things that SCG has passed in the last couple years. I think, it's not everything, not a comprehensive list, but a pretty good list. And it's just an idea of what's possible here in student parliament. Because you don't want to try and limit your idea or capacity about what we can accomplish here, because we can accomplish quite a bit. So the first thing that we passed was, and Secretary Ramirez, I'll get you the list after, so you have to write the whole thing out. First thing is we passed we advocated for an LBGTQQ coordinator here on campus in the past. We have also, I don't remember, this is 2 years ago now, that passed a resolution to advocate for longer cafe hours to midnight. The cafe is open to midnight now, so 3 years ago. So sorry, as Representative Lima pointed out, it was 3 years ago now. Also too, we've joked, but one thing we helped pass a resolution, just to give an example, was bacon and Donovan, and people love bacon, and having it in Donovan has always been really great. Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Yes.
That was a resolution.
That was a resolution. My first semester, that was one of the first things we debated. That was a very contentious debate. I'll say that much. That was a very contentious debate, because we had some ham lovers in the room and such. So you never quite know. But so other resolutions that we have passed include advocating for C-Lot to become a student lot at least after 6 p.m. This is something that President Pecky had advocated for. Feminine hygiene products in bathrooms on campus, or at least I believe it was in the dorms at the time. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was something that we had advocated for. This is something I found in the minutes actually today when I was going through it. The student union expansion, we advocated for that, and I think it's still something we still advocate for. But that was a resolution Parliament passed back in spring of 2012. And we also advocate for as well extended library hours, which is hopefully going to happen this semester. And former SUG member Aaron Buckley advocated many times for anything related to transportation, especially RIPTA. So that's something to consider. Other members have advocated stuff such as a bike sharing program. Something that I'm sure is going to come up at some point this semester from someone here, and I'm more than happy to talk about it, is the possible tuition increase that we have going to be happening at the State House, maybe. That's something that's going to come up. We've had several resolutions, as I alluded to before, about Donovan over the years. Author is always very open to suggestions, so if we if someone had an idea about Donovan and it passed this body and I presented it to him, I'm sure he'd at least be very open-minded to see what he could do about it. We're using Donovan tonight this evening, even though it's already closed. Something else includes guest passes for the rec center and that whole process, and also advocating in various ways with students with disabilities on campus. So the idea is that there's a breadth of ideas and resolutions and ways that you can take student government, student parliament, and things that we can do as a body. So I'm not necessarily looking for a lot of discussion or ifs or whats about particular resolution items, but I wanted to have that thrown out there because I feel it's really important. I feel like I want us as a body to, us being here alone is very important because taking time out of Wednesday nights, but it's also important that we actively try and do stuff for the student body and we as an executive board do plenty of things. They're not resolutions, our daily jobs, one of them, but in other ways too. Not everything I do as president needs a resolution or has a resolution. I didn't get a resolution for bicycle racks, but there are more bicycle racks. But as the general whole, I want to see more participation from the body here, and I know we have some new people, so anything at all you want to try and accomplish or do, feel free to see myself again or Chief of Staff Vice about the meeting or any executive board member, and we'll try and direct you in the right direction. So that's all I have. If people have some resolution ideas, I'd be happy to hear them at this time, but otherwise, that's that.
Okay. Next we move to administration update. Dr. Kane. Oh.
Do have some discussion. One idea I had, I noticed SCG spends a lot of money on bottled water, despite that we have I know we have a refilling machine, but we still, at least I know in the past, I've spent a lot on bottled water, and possibly something we should look into is perhaps the purpose of a water dispensing machine or something of that type.
That is an idea, and
I know that's been actually passed by Parliament unanimously in the past
it has
as a resolution. Yet nothing happened with that. So.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. Treasurer Smith.
I'm sure Representative Lee memory as well. SUG doesn't have a specific line for bottled water.
Well, it comes out of all the
It
other
does.
snacks and coffee and all that.
Not really a proper discussion. Well, what I'd like to talk about most of all, and Doris, I'm sorry to begin with, and I apologize to everyone else because I don't typically speak during these things. I'd like to challenge the whole body as a whole to do more than just have senseless resolutions. I mean, we've had something for bacon. We've had resolutions to let's make one of the parking lots for commuters or an open lot. But resolutions don't really do much. I mean, we can sit here and we can make a resolution, as Dr. Kane said during our last meeting about how, with this law about sexual assault, and we can pass a resolution saying sexual assault is bad. Or we can, as a body, go to the counseling center and to the women's center and take an active part in eliminating sexual assault on this college campus. Now, we can make a resolution saying, well, we all feel this is bad, but I don't think anyone's going to disagree about things like, the Don food could be better, or the parking situation could be better, or a whole number of things. Instead of making resolutions, what I'm really sort of rambling on to this body here is that we're more taking an active part and we take an active stake into this campus and larger Rhode Island community. Instead of complaining, as we all do, and I know all of you do, about the higher tuition rates, why don't we go down to the State House to protest if you feel so strongly about it? Or perhaps write an editorial to the Anchor about what you feel. Why don't you do something actually that shows you take a stake in the community and that you actually want to change it? Because I am of the opinion, and perhaps I am crazy and I am alone, perhaps I often feel, but just sitting here making resolutions does nothing. Join a committee. If you don't really like the food in the Don, talk to Arthur. He's a wonderful man. He's the head of the Don. If you don't like a certain building on campus, or if you don't like the shoveling job for the snow, please talk to Physical Plan. We are 70% women. If you feel offended by campus sexual assault rates overall, please talk to Dr. Kane, who is Dean of Students, or talk to the Counseling Center or the Women's Center. We have these resources. We here at SCG sit at a very unique precipice that most of our fellow students who we have in our classes and who sit in the Don and we are friends with. And I'm rambling and I'm pulling a Bobby here, I'm sorry to say. We sit at a unique precipice. We do have a considerable amount of power and ability as student leaders, and I, as chair of the Finance Commission, we do have a certain amount of pull with money, and as sad as I am to say this, it actually especially Rhode Island, it actually takes money to actually give any gumption to anything. Everyone knows what gumption means, right?
Yes.
Anyway, my overall point is, instead of just making resolutions about things, as President Centuri alluded to, perhaps we take an active role in our community and go to maybe committees or the proper college person overall, the person in charge, or the department in charge, and we take charge of the changes we want to be. What's the quote? Be the change you want to see in the world. Is that a Gandhi? Is that a Gandhi thing?
It is.
Yes.
Is it a Gandhi thing? I mean, I hate to invoke what's probably a cliche in high school yearbooks and stand-up seminars, but it's very true because I feel like just doing resolutions, it's just saying we all agree on something and nothing gets done. In rare cases, as President Centuri. As President Centuri alluded to, in rare cases, resolutions can get things done, like we now have bacon in the dawn. But that's such a minor thing that all of us can do as student leaders, and being part of SCG can do when we have some real problems facing this campus in Rhode Island and the state and the nation as a whole. And that's just what I wanted to say. I went off on a tangent, I'm sorry. That's not helping my ego, Derek, at all. But thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Treasurer Smith. Vice President okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Doris. I had to apologize at the beginning.
Did you use precipice?
I'm long. I do like Dead Poets Society as a kid.
Vice President Broder, the floor is yours.
So I agree wholeheartedly with Treasurer Smith. But I guess to throw out what my own resolution idea was, and also to kind of put another path to what Mr. Smith said. That is very useful and good in areas that we can actually make change, which is a lot of areas for sure. I personally was thinking of doing a resolution towards grad school, just awareness on the campus, advising on it, and just compatibility in terms of records and everything. But that means to say that is an area in which I have zero expertise. I've only gone through the process. I wouldn't actually be able to get much done myself going out and trying to do things. So I think in regards such as this, resolutions can be useful. But to expand on my thing, just as somebody who has applied to grad schools, it just surprised me how quickly a lot of deadlines came up, how much work it took for certain schools. Because some schools would need just give me an essay you wrote at some point in college and tell me how much money your parents make so we can find out whether or not we want to have you. And then other ones asked many, many questions, and it took far longer than I even had the time to get around to. So needless to say, my hope with my eventual resolution is to put better awareness across campus, because we do at Rhode Island College have both a grad school program where we take graduate students, and we also churn out much more grad students than we may think at the college level. So just stuff like that. But that is really all I have to say.
Okay. Representative Johnson?
To follow up very quickly on both Treasurer Smith and Vice President Broder, mainly Treasurer Smith, because he gave me an idea.
Oh dear.
No, it's fine. I'll make you proud. So I started to think we have all of these committees as on a weekly basis, not weekly, but bi-weekly almost basis, where President Santuri goes down the very long tangent on item 9 with the committees and recognitions and such, where I've started to realize something very gradually, but it hit me just now. Whereas instead of just having all of these committees that meet every once in a while and they do like one thing a week, or we have these minutes and these packets that mean almost next to nothing, I feel it's almost a viable idea to use these committees to take an action, if that makes sense. To use the committees that we have in hand to get out and do something, because I want you all to sit here and contemplate this next question. As to the outside body looking in, meaning the rest of the thousands of students that we have here on campus that are not a part of Parliament, what do we do? And I don't want you to answer. I want you to sit there and let it sit. Let it what's the word?
Marinate.
Thank you. Let it marinate. What do we do? Most of the students that I talk to as a junior class representative will claim that we do nothing. They don't even know who we are. Why? Why is that we don't seem to do anything to them? Like, as a freshman, I had no idea that it's because of Parliament that there is bacon in Donovan. I thought that was just a regular thing. I didn't know until today that was because of people like President Santuri and Treasurer Smith and everyone who's been here for a while, that these kinds of things. Okay, I don't know who was actually here, but I'm just throwing out examples.
President Escobar.
Thank you, Representative Lima. But it's because of people who have been here for a while or who have graduated that these kinds of things happen. And I just come in as a younger guy in the body, and I just have no idea that that's what happened. So to them, we do nothing. So I propose that we make it seem like we actually do things for the student body. Get more people involved. Reach out through every committee that, probably people through the e-board and other people around the body run these committees. Stretch out to the rest of the student body. That's what things like, Student Activities Day and just your day-to-day activities are for. Friends that you make, tell them, hey, this is what I do. So, I don't know, I guess I'm just proposing for more of an outreach. I feel like that would be useful for future endeavors, and that's all I really needed to say.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay.
No,
Treasurer
no.
Smith.
Phil, you have problems with graduate study. Phil, you have problems with graduate studies. Do you know who you can talk to about that?
Other than my
You
own
want to
part-
make a change, who do you talk to?
To make a change.
If you have a complaint,
I
who do you want to get it heard?
Pick Dr. Brooke Behrman, but she is also partially my advisor, so that's
I mean, overall at the college.
Well, I mean,
Do you know?
I guess if I was
That's my point.
a grad student, I would go to my own advisor, and then if they didn't have anything.
Dr. Kane, can you help us a little bit more that if Phil has an overall complaint about graduate studies, who can he talk to? Is there anyone beyond his advisor he can talk to? I wanted a name or an office.
The Dean of Graduate Studies?
Okay, there you go. Yes, that was the kind of thing I wanted to get across in my thing is if you have a specific complaint, there's a specific office you go to, or there's a person you can talk to, at least make you feel better. Which is why we have Dr. Kane and why we have Mark and why we have the faculty advisors and so on, is because they're here for a reason. It was the point I was trying to get at. So there's a Dean of Graduate Studies, and there's an office that you can go to and perhaps make an appointment and effect some change.
Okay. Is that all?
Hoping
treasurers?
other people would have other resolutions about other things, but Phil was it.
Representative Estrella.
I also want to agree with Treasurer Smith. In regards to Donovan, instead of just making a resolution about why we don't like them at the current moment, they have a food service committee meeting twice a semester that you just go there.
Which is a committee you can sign up for.
Yeah.
As part of SCG.
And you literally just go up there and tell Arthur directly what you don't like. And he usually is.
My general
accepting.
experience is also he's a very nice man.
Oh, yes, he's wonderful.
He's a
So, yeah. You should do
perfectly
that.
nice, polite, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all, Representative Estrella? Okay. Representative Navarro.
I would just like to say that my resolution is, without Smith falling on me and on who should I go to, is that I think that the library should pay for their own hours when we're doing freaking finals. It should not be us paying to keep the library open. That is stupid. Students paying for a library to be open. I think that if we did not pay and let the whole student body get in on that we were paying for it, that there would be a commotion and something would be done. I personally, I'm going to join whatever library committee there is and rant off on them. Thank you.
Okay. Representative
Cepeda.
Cepeda.
It's so bad.
So sorry.
I just have a quick question. Like every other college or university I've gone to, they all have libraries that are open 24 hours all the time. And I understand it's a public library also, but why don't we have you scan in after closing so you can study in there?
Other colleges have
President
that?
Santuri?
There's a Brown.
Really?
See,
And there's a security guard.
Representative
that's
Cepeda.
around.
Representative Cepeda?
Yeah.
Representative Cepeda. I want to get the right to third time hopefully, as opposed to the fifth or sixth? That's actually a really good question, and you know, I imagine if I don't know the answer to that, but if I have to take a shot in the dark, I imagine it's due to monetary reasons. But I think that's something that's definitely worth taking to the library and saying, hey, you know, why don't you guys have this? And going back and saying, well, is this something maybe if students demanded it, is something you want, you know? And that's stuff like that I want to try to think of. And you know, Trey Smith does make a good point that you know you don't need necessarily student parliament to go out and advocate and make a change, but I think it's very important that you know at the very least we all try and make some sort of difference on this campus. That's what we're here for. That's what we were. You know, that's why you all went around with the petitions or got elected through class elections for. It's to try and make a difference on this campus, and I think that's the most important thing. Well, no, sorry. The most important thing on this campus is to graduate. The second most important thing is to make a difference. So I think it's a great idea, you know, and that's something too, real quick, that I think is really important about having outside perspective on things, because you don't necessarily know whether something's good or not until someone else comes and says, you know, somewhere else we do X, Y, Z, and why isn't it done here? And you go, that's a really good question. So I'll talk to you more about that after, but thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on this resolution idea discussion?
Sorry.
With no more discussion, we move to administration update. Dr. Kane, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I have a quick question and then some follow-up announcements. I'm looking at everybody's card, and I know we have some commuter at large, but I'm curious, by show of hands, how many of you live in the residence halls? So, 6 or so. Good. And so, has anybody lived in the halls but does not currently live on campus? A couple more. All right. So another question then that might be germane. You should think about sort of our residence halls in your mind, you know, and don't be influenced by whatever you've heard from other people, but sort of in your own mind, where would you like to live? Which building, what rooms, or what do you think is the most desirable?
New hall.
Anyone wants to live in a new hall? Well, what? Did you say well?
I said, well, if it had a stove, it'd be more appealing. But seeing as how these students can't seem to function with the microwave, I don't see that's gonna happen.
If it had a stove,
yeah.
You said new hall or?
Yeah, because they're the ones that have the kitchens.
Everybody likes the kitchen.
Yeah.
Representative Goldberg, you had a.
Just to answer your question, I think it honestly depends on the person. I know there are some dorms that are some residence halls that are quieter than others, and then there are ones that are known as, you know, the loud buildings. There are ones that, you know, if you don't want co-ed. I know Brown is a big thing because there's a good chunk of girls that don't want to live there because it's not. I mean, that do want to live there because it's not co-ed. So I think it kind of just depends on the person and their preference. I know I thought I'd hate Brown. I was like, that's way too many girls in one building. I don't hang out with girls. It's a lot of girls. But it was the quietest building I've ever lived in. And it was really easy to get studying done. It was nice to hang out in. So I think it just depends on the person and their preference.
Okay. So the reason I ask these questions is because in residence life right now, we're taking a look at sort of how we are configuring the residence halls, and some of you may have heard this already through other discussions that we're having with students, and sort of what is most appealing to students, what type of living situation, and what might be most attractive for people to continue to live on campus. And so to that end, in trying to figure it out, we're thinking about making some changes, and so I just want to kind of throw these ideas out there and get your feedback on them, so that when or if we make changes, we're making them from an informed perspective.
I believe we had 2 more questions, Dr. Kane.
Okay.
Representative Johnson?
I actually never raised my card, funnily enough.
Oh. Okay.
I'm really sorry if I made it seem like I did.
Secretary Bermudez, the floor is yours.
For this year, I live in Willard, and despite the way it looks and all that other stuff, which is not very appealing, what attracted me to that building and some of my suite mates was the super singles. And that made me choose like over New Hall because it was just like there's more space, it's much more comfortable, and of course we're on the first floor, so we don't gotta worry about stairs, the elevators move in. But pretty much what Representative Goldberg is saying, it depends on the type of person and what it is that they like. But I mean, I don't know what changes it is that are being thought of, but hopefully those super singles are left there. Hint, hint, hint.
Yes. That is the only reason I lived there.
That's the only reason you live there. That's great. Well, so totally fine. Actually, so and that's we're not really thinking about. We are one of the things we're thinking about is continuing to allow Willard to have those super singles in it for upper class students. But we do sense that it's very desirable for upper class students to have a single room, whether it's a super single or just a regular single. And if you've gone through the room selection process, one of the things you know is that at some point we tend to run out, and then all of a sudden, double rooms are not very attractive to upper class students, and it's hard for us to retain students. So we're thinking about trying to convert some of the space that are single rooms and currently designated for freshmen for upper class students. So one of the ideas is, should Thorpe be upper class student singles? As an idea. Dora says.
I think she's the final word, I think.
You don't think upper class students would have any interest in living there in single rooms, or?
This one doesn't.
Well.
Representative Goldberg.
I know a lot of people would prefer New Hall over any other building, even if it meant they were in a double. If you went and asked the upperclassmen in New Hall right now, what they prefer, a lot of them would prefer a New Hall double over like a Weber single. It's just because it's the updated building. Honestly, if you were to update more of the residence halls, people would be more apt to want to live in any of them. But right now, you've got we've got places in our bathrooms that are supposed to be white that are orange, and there's no scrubbing that'll get that up. So it's like if you were to yeah, it's disgusting. But if you were to update all of the buildings instead of just trying to rework bedrooms, you'd get people more apt to want to live on campus in general. So I think the appeal is the updates.
Representative Cepeda. Yes.
I know one of the things that kept me from living on campus was seeing how depressing the dorms are.
Honestly, we know that. So, okay, so and let me just address that right away. We know
not
that.
I don't mean to be like sad. It's just I like natural light, and honestly, the windows are like non-existent in some of them.
Some of the buildings are 55 years old. I
Mine's
mean,
covered by
and they have never been updated. So we're working on some plans to do some renovations to facilities, even considering building another new building, but that takes time. It's not something that's going to happen right away. So what I'm trying to focus on is sort of the immediate need. Is there anything that we can do immediately that might help make the space more attractive to upper class students?
Representative Stroh.
I think that obviously New Hall is more appealing, but I would like to peacefully disagree with you guys. I think that Thorpe would be great for upperclassmen. So I know a lot of people that would just want to single, whether it was in New Hall or Thorpe, and I don't think Thorpe's got that at all. I don't know about you guys. So one of the problems with New Hall, I know a lot of people have, is that it's nice, but you don't have the community that you have in the rooms. And Thorpe is one of those rooms that you have that community where you have like 8 people and you also have a single. So I think it could work great for upperclassmen.
Representative Johnson.
To agree partially with both sides of this argument.
You are in the middle.
Cause yes, that's entirely true. Thank you, President Santuri. How do I phrase this? To walk lightly in what Representative Goldberg said. I'm one of those students who would prefer single, having shared a room with my older brother for about 18 years of my life. I got really tired of it. My mom kicked me out to go to college. So I decided to talk to Brian Lawley and tell him that I would not want a room in housing unless I had a single. I was tired of sharing a room. So it got to the point I really didn't mind that the room looked partially like a prison cell or a hospital room, and that I just got a single, and that's what counted. Sorry for my bluntness, it's just how I am as a person. But in all honesty, I feel like to get a better feel of what you're trying to accomplish here, Dr. Kane, instead of just bringing it up to the parliamentary body, I feel like you should have, or you and housing, Brian Lawley in particular, he's a very nice man to work with. I taught his son how to play chess, funnily enough, many a year ago. That's part of why I'm here today. I feel like the two of you would be very keen on working together and trying to establish a workshop with not only us in RSA, but to the rest of the residential body as a whole to try to see how they feel about it. Because even here, just part of the example, there are students like Representative Goldberg and Secretary Bermudez who feel very strongly about the dorms appearance-wise, and there are other students like myself and Representative Estrella that have very strong feelings about the room in the sense of how many people are there and the level of community that it has. So I feel like to get a feel of both ends and to try to meet a happy medium, that would be your best bet.
Sure. Well, that makes good sense, and in fact, we have already started that process.
Oh wow, wonderful!
I think it was on Monday night. The director of residential life and housing, Teresa Brown,
that was her name.
Met with the hall councils about these proposals, as well as RSA, the Resident Student Association. But I sort of figured, these are the kinds of things that, in my opinion, my style, you wouldn't sort of do without soliciting student feedback and from a wide group of student leaders, and in particular,
this is kind of what you got.
Yeah, student community government. Even though I recognize not everybody lives on campus, at the very least, you should be made aware of it. And obviously, I think it's a good idea for us to seek your feedback. So, thank you. From here, I will tell you. From here, we have other plans. I know that Teresa Brown also made a call to the anchor today to try to set up an appointment. I'm not sure if she was successful, but
I was there. She was.
She wants, we're going to put it in the paper. We want to give the anchor a chance to ask her questions. We figured, I don't want to get, obviously I can't get into, I don't know that we would have time to answer all of the questions people might have tonight, and she would be the best person to answer those questions, but kind of getting it started in the anchor, we're going to have meetings in all of the residence halls with all of the students prior to room selection, so kind of people know what we're thinking and kind of what they can expect for room selection and that type of stuff.
Okay.
So, but I appreciate your feedback.
Thank you.
Can I mention just a couple of more things that we're considering, and then again, I'll take any questions or comments people might have about it. So, if you designate Thorpe for upper class students, then obviously you sort of, the question asks, where do you put the freshmen? So one of the things that we're considering about is maybe the double rooms in Newhall might be more appropriate for freshmen. There's a sense, again, that when students go to college, they kind of maybe expect to have a roommate, but then once they're at college, they can't wait to not have a roommate. That's really true. That's sort of just our impression initially, kind of where we're going. So we would look at, obviously suites, double rooms, makes really good sense for that to be for first year students, and maybe those double rooms in Newhall, but obviously maybe trying to get the upper class into the super singles in Willard and the singles in Thorpe. And by the way, Brown Hall. One of the other issues we have right now is that our you guys are gonna love this one. Our balance, male and female balance is off. So we're thinking, we could create more space if we could designate a suite in Brown for men, and maybe two suites, maybe kind of one floor, and kind of isolate it so that the floors of women are together, and I don't know whether they'd be all at the upper floors and have the men at the lowest floor. Just still give it a little bit of a feel of, that it's a single-sex building, while at the same time being able to accommodate, again, our male-female balance. Obviously, if the upper floors were all women, then there wouldn't be any reason for a male to go up there unless there would be the same reason for a male to go up to the upper floors of Brown. as there are today. Visiting. Say hello. Under escorts, right? So anyway, and then finally, one other immediate proposal we're considering is to designate, and I don't know where we do this yet, we haven't quite figured this out, but maybe to designate one of our residence hall facilities as a year-round facility. Because it may be a surprise to people, but we have students who tell us, for whatever personal reasons, that they don't really have a place to go during winter break or in the summer. And obviously, you know, to designate a building where we kept the heat on and we kept staff available through those periods where we normally would shut down, there would be an additional fee to cover some of those services. It would give those students a place where they would know that, you know, come December, whatever it is, 20th, they're not going to be trying to find a hotel room or, you know, wandering the streets, you know, trying to shack up with an aunt or an uncle or a roommate or whatever the case may be. So anyway, any thoughts people have about those ideas, I'd be willing to listen to as well.
Well, first on the list is actually me. My one suggestion for you, Dr. Kane, please put trash bins in the door. I'm begging you, Dr. Kane.
Trash bins are in the doors?
Are they?
Not in.
Downstairs.
Technically outside
well,
of.
that's all right, I suppose.
To be fair.
Secretary Bermudez, you are next on the list.
My question is, for the freshmen that are going to be put in New Hall, is it the same pricing that it is now? For the dorms?
You mean, right, I think across the board, we've asked for an increase, a slight increase, like 2% or 3% in the residence hall fee, but yeah.
Okay,
Would it be sort of like the same cost for freshmen as for upper class students?
Yeah, it's kind of, okay, so I asked because if a freshman is coming and they decide that they don't want to live in New Hall for financial reasons, and what if there's a lot of space left there because they decide to pick another hall and then that other hall doesn't have any more space, what would you guys do? Like, are you going to force them to pay and live in New Hall if they can't afford it, or how does that work?
That's a good point, yeah. We haven't really, you know, I don't know that we've really talked about that issue, but because the point is that as an upper class student, you can choose to live in New Hall or to not live in New Hall, and just, you know, if you're choosing to live in New Hall, you know that there's a higher room rate. But as a freshman, you don't really have that same flexibility and choice. So that's I'll bring that back. Thank you. Good point.
Representative Johnson.
I feel like what my main question here is something that most likely Representative Goldberg is going to talk about as well. So I'm almost sorry to steal your thunder, but I put up my card first. And I know I'm a terrible person. You can tell me all about it later. But I feel like I'm going to talk about probably the biggest change next to putting freshmen in New Hall, which is the prospective changes to Brown Hall, from changing it to an all-female dorm to a possibly co-ed dorm. While I understand the basis of correcting the imbalance among male and female residents, although I don't even barely consider myself a feminist advocate or anything along those kinds of lines, I'd like to ask you the bare, simple question of what do you plan on doing about those female students who feel as though they almost sort of need to live in Brown because they don't want to live with male students. I feel like that's something that you're going to have to approach very carefully, and that you're almost walking on eggshells by taking that kind of change in approach. And I'm not saying you as in you, I'm saying you as in everyone who's in committee of discussing these changes. Do you have any idea of how they plan on approaching this kind of thing? I feel like it's going to be dangerous territory almost.
Well, I would say we're trying to be proactive about it, you know, and sort of float the ideas out there and see what sort of reaction we get.
Right.
Let me just tell you, I will tell you this, that we, you know, where did these crazy ideas come from, right? So we surveyed like 30 colleges and universities in New England, and out of those 30 colleges and universities, we only found 2 that actually have all-female residential facilities. Actually, 3. Wellesley, Smith, and Salve has like a house that is all women for.
I thought Salve Regina was an all-female school.
It used to be, but it's
Oh. I live under a rock. I'm sorry.
But Wellesley and Smith are all female. So
I'm sorry.
That's I was shocked by that. I didn't expect it to be quite that lopsided. The only institutions that have all female residential facilities are all female. Wow. So,
I mean, but that kind of thing might be attractive to students who don't want to be in an all-female school but want to live in an all-female dorm, if you understand where I'm getting at here.
So, and and to that end, I would ask anybody, the women in particular, is that a what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase I'm looking for? You know, kind of make or break for you.
I feel like that's more Representative Goldberg's field.
I heard Bermuda's earlier saying,
do a thumbs up.
Too many women.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Representative Goldberg, I believe you have next, actually.
Hi.
After you.
Okay, so I lived around for 2 years, and I didn't want to get around. But what I realized after we got there was there's actually quite a few girls that do live there, just for the specific reason of not being around men. Whether it be personal incidents that have happened to them, they don't feel comfortable around men, or a lot of it is that they don't feel comfortable around men. But the thing is, if you move men into that building, they now have access to all the floors, whether you designate certain floors for women or not. They take that elevator right up to the 6th floor and they knock on that door. You don't know who's there. You're opening that door and you're opening up for all kinds of trouble. I worked at the front desk both years I lived there. Any male that came in that building was automatically stopped because obviously he don't live there. So it stopped a lot of things, especially if there was a guy banned from the building, which when you work the front desk, you get a banned list. There was some specific ones just for Brown. And it's because those males have been banned. You get an inexperienced front desk worker, or it's the first couple weeks of school and they don't know everyone yet, someone just buzzes right by without getting stopped. Again, you've got that guy going right up the stairs, knocking on that girl's door, and now you've got a girl who's in turmoil, whether she's got, anxiety issues with this person, or she just doesn't feel comfortable. Also, where it's with Brown right now being all girls, each suite has to take a vote on whether you allow men in the suite, you allow men in the bathroom, you allow men in the shower. There's those votes that happen, and each suite gets their own rules with it. So, when you're now saying that men are in that building, there's no way of cutting men off from certain floors. There's no men of keeping those girls safe. Those girls are going to have, that reasoning that they no longer want to live on campus if there's no place that they can go and be safe. So, I know there were times that I definitely felt safer living in Brown than I would have living in other halls. And I just think it's something you seriously need to take into consideration, is that there are some girls that just won't feel comfortable whatsoever. And even if you designate, part of Willard as just female, even if it's just a suite or two for those specific cases, at least then there's a little bit more control on who can get to those suites. But if you just allow guys into that building, it's open game. And I think you need to really consider the women that need the help.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you, Representative Goldberg. Representative Estrella.
I have a different topic, but actually I really like your idea about Willard. Like maybe just like some lunch of Willard. I think that would be a good mixture. But I was also gonna say, when you're talking about dorms being open all year, I know a lot of people, specifically spring break, don't like living out for that. So maybe just a dorm for that and winter break, that would be great. I know a lot of people like that.
Okay. Deputy Speaker Trombley.
I just wanted to say, Dr. Kane, my opinion on the subject. I don't think that the specific male-female integration of Brown, as I just made up, is something you want to press for. I just think if Representative Goldberg brings up some good points, and if she's bringing up the points here, you know, Feminists United's gonna be busting down your door when they hear about this, raising the same issues which are genuine. But I'm just saying, this might not be, to get 2 guys into that, just, which is what you said, you want to get maybe 1 or 2 suites for men in the Brown Hall. It probably isn't worth it at this point to try that, especially when you're likely to face so much opposition. So I would recommend, my personal opinion, drop it. That's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vice President Broder.
I mean, trust me, I really don't know that much about the dorm, so it might just sound stupid. But I mean, I assume Brown Hall sounds like one of the larger ones.
Mm-hmm.
It has apparently 6 maybe floors. Maybe I don't know what the layout is in all of them, but maybe picking whatever the smallest dorm building is and making that all female, and then if that somehow can still get to your hope of increasing co-ed integration in Brown, maybe just because then you can still satisfy the women who would like to live in all women housing, and then you can potentially still open it up in a larger dorm like that at Brown. So maybe just something like that.
I believe that is all of the questions for you, Dr. Kane. Do you have anything else for us?
Not on the housing topic, but on a couple of other quick announcements. But I just want to say thank you very much for the feedback. I appreciate it. And again, this is ongoing conversations. We're going to continue to have discussions in the residence halls in particular. So feel free to participate in those. And if you have other comments or thoughts, let me know. Just a couple of other quick things. You probably know that next Wednesday is the President's Mid-Year Review in the Student Union Ballroom at 12:30 if you want to attend that. She'll kind of, the year in review at this point, kind of go through some of the highlights. And I'm sure President Santori will be there.
President Carroll actually appointed me to go somewhere else for her during that time. Believe it or not. She banished me from the. I'm attending some event related to the board's education for her during that time. She asked me to represent Rick for her during that time. I said, "Isn't that during your mid-year review?" And she goes, "Yeah, but I feel this is really important, and I wish you could." I was like, "Okay."
Then somebody else has to.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last thing I have is this is February's African American History Month. Some events are already underway, and you can find a full calendar of events through in particular. Well, I think it's linked from the college's homepage. It's one of the scrolling announcements on the homepage. And I also note that there's a very interesting session tomorrow, 4 to 6, in the Student Union 307. It's a open forum entitled on racial understanding, and obviously it's going to talk about some of the relatively current events that have been happening across the country and even the world, and how they may relate to our current cultural experiences. But I would encourage all of you to take a look at the schedule, find some time to participate in some of the activities and pay attention to that one tomorrow. That is all.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do this and not interrupt someone. My throat is killing me. Did not want to be rude. Dr. Brophy Behrman, the floor is yours. Okay. And with that, Mr. Pilucci, the floor is yours.
I'll be quick. It's going to creep up on us. Is the month of April. There's a Leadership Awards event that the Student Union, Student Activities, the college presents. The application deadline is somewhere, like I want to say, early March. The applications are online on the Student Activities website. There's roughly 7 awards. When you walk up the main staircase in the Student Union, you'll see the plaquettes on the wall on the 3rd level. Student Organizations is one of them. Student Leadership Awards. One of them is the Alan Shilley Student Leadership Award. Alan Shilley was a graduate of Brown College, former employee, former student employee, donated an endowment to the college, so there's some money attached to that one. You can self-nominate. The way the committee has it set up, I'm not on the committee, but the way the committee has it set up is even the nominees are represented at a dinner kind of thing in the ballroom, and they're the certificates for them, so they get recognized even though they may not be the winner. So it's kind of like the Academy Awards. So there's nominations, and then there is a winner. So it's a fun event. It's probably about an hour and a half. I think it conflicted sometimes with Storgies. This year it won't. It's a Thursday evening. But I suggest that you nominate yourself, nominate a friend, nominate somebody that's in the room, nominate maybe a student organization, and so that we get a nice pool to pick from. Next is one of the things that Rob had done is purchasing on the Student Government Finance, purchasing new computers for the student organizations and the student union. One of the things that we didn't do was buy printers for them, which was a very good idea because they're expensive, the cartridges and all of that. We had looked at getting a print station for them, and they're downsizing some of the copy machines in the library. Right now there's 4 of them on the card swipes that are fairly underutilized, and so they're looking at getting one up, and we were able to get one. It should be delivered shortly, hopefully weather permitting. Everything's weather permitting these days, but on the 4th level, it'll be a card swipe. Those organizations can print to that that machine, and our student organizations can. Some of you may not know that what we know is Office Services has moved to the East Campus. It's limited. Many of our student organizations go over and use that area. This would give them another opportunity to use something in the student union that's open till midnight most nights, 7 in the morning. So we're working on that, and hopefully that'll work out shortly. And last, I was looking at the calendar, so I was looking at the time. There's 8 meetings left, and I think when Rob was talking about resolutions, the semester's going to go over pretty quick, and with former president, former secretary Costa not being here, she would say it goes by really quick. But there's 8 meetings, and 2 of them are budget meetings. So I think one of the things that President Santori was talking about was it's going to go by quick. So if you want to talk about something, you want to get something done, you want to do something, get more than getting bacon in the dining center. This is your opportunity, and it also kind of positions yourself, if you're not graduating and you want to stay on student government, to run for an office. This is where you can make your statement. This is where you can have something to say. When you're running for president, treasurer, or secretary, that you worked on something this semester. And I think President Santori would back me in saying, yes, this is what you need to do. So I'm done.
Okay. Excuse me. With that, we move to appointments, resignations, and vacancies.
Thank you, Speaker.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
First off, I just let you guys know I have no resignations this season, but I do have a number of appointments, luckily. To the Conditions and Service Committee, Derrik Trombley is the chair, as he is the new Deputy Speaker. I'm also appointing the following people as Parliament members: Michael Giamacco, Olivia Phillips, and Lori Cepeda. Okay. I will get that right, I swear, I promise, by next meeting. My apologies. And then to Finance Commission, to the non-student parliament, I am appointing Joshua Locke. He was an interim appointment, but I'm making that official. I'm also appointing I'm also appointing Lori to the Campus Store Advisory Committee. I'm also appointing Michael Giamacco to the Committee on College Lectures. I'm appointing Olivia Phillips to the Committee on College Mission and Goals. And I'm appointing to the Committee on Student Life for the Graduate Student seat, Christine Allenson. So I ask that all of these appointments be accepted with unanimous consent and at this time. Okay. Yes. No, that's not.
Okay, are there any objections to these appointments being accepted with unanimous consent? With no objections, they are appointed.
I'm sorry. Nope, sorry. That was my cue, guys. My apologies. Just going to point out as well, as Representative Johnson alluded to earlier, in every meeting I sit here and talk about what's open for vacancy. But I am happy to say that we have filled a number of committees and commissions this semester. But we still have a number of them open. So as Treasurer Smith mentioned, join a committee. If you want to join another committee, I have plenty of availability. And I know that you could spend some extra time with Vice President Broder or Secretary Bermudez during the free period, or hopefully you wouldn't have to spend time with Speaker House to go into bylaws, and that's never a good thing. But we still have that committee. And we also have a number of other great, not just SEG committees, but college committees that still need student representation. I won't read off the list because you guys probably have a good idea by now, but I will say there are a number available. So if you're interested, see me after the meeting. I'll be happy to let you know. Thank you.
Okay. With that, we move to issues of Parliament members. If you have an issue, please hold your card up until Deputy Speaker Trombley gives you the signal. I'm going to go first. With that, I have 2 issues to bring before you guys today. First, I would like to discuss the conditions of campus yesterday afternoon. Like after noon, the time, not in the afternoon. But they were pretty bad. I had a class in the Adams Library TV studio, and the roads were despicable. I was stepping in like 3 inches of like dirty slush, ice, snow. It was really bad, and it really upset me that I don't know, it kind of upsets me when I feel like, not administration I guess, but when this school takes student safety so lightly. I mean, I know personally, like Representative Goldberg has pictures for me. I asked people to send me pictures of the conditions of campus, and it was horrible. And I do understand people spend, overnight on campus trying to get rid of the snow, and I know it's a problem, but I think that before we tell students that they need to come here, that we need to make sure that the conditions on campus are acceptable, and not have so many people slipping and falling and hurting themselves on campus because of ice. My second issue is I'm a mass media comm student. I have all my I have all my classes in Whipple, and this semester I have heard of at least 5 classes that were overbooked. 2 classes were booked in the same room. I actually had one class that I was in that was triple booked, so 3 classes were all supposed to be in the same classroom, and not only does that put us as students in a poor position, I had to have 2 teachers kind of be like, well, I need the room, and one of them had to give up the room, and that's kind of unacceptable. I had to have class in the hallway of Whipple, and that is completely unacceptable. That is not okay and should not be happening. And it's extremely upsetting that it's not only just this one case that I'm sure there are more classes that I just haven't heard about, but there are at least 5 classes that were overbooked in Whipple, and that is disgraceful. And that is it for my issues. Oh, sorry. Next we move to Representative Goldberg.
Alrighty, so since not all feminists go guns a-blazing, burning down buildings, we are putting on the vagina monologues instead. So we're going to talk about vaginas. So we are putting on the vagina monologues to raise money for the Sojourner House in Providence. We do it every year. It's February 13th. It's being held in Gauge 100. We worked on our set tonight. It looks wicked awesome. I'm super pumped. I get to wear a wig and a walker, and it's gonna be great.
You wear a walker?
Well, I'm using a walker.
So you can't really
So tickets are $5. There will be vagina cupcakes and cookies on sale. There will be, yes.
I guess I won't.
There'll be a silent auction. There'll be giveaways. We've got Active Minds as a table, all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of great student orgs coming together for this. Tickets are $5 for Rick and non-Rick. If anyone would like tickets, come see me. I'll gladly take your cash and pick them up for you. They're also on sale in the Welcome and Info Center. You have to use your ID for that one. I can take cash if you need it. We have printed out tickets. I can take that cash. So just let me know if you want tickets. I can hook you up on where to get tickets. And they're also in the Welcome and Info Center. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Representative Goldberg. That is a good play. I have seen it multiple times.
I've been in it for.
Representative Navarro.
All right. My first complaints would be on the icy quad. I saw like literally 3 people fall, and the girl that has the dog that's blind, she fell as well. So Rick, get it together. And my second one would be like today during elections, I heard an outlandish comment from Pelushi saying that most of us are here for like $20 and we're just like, wasting our time. We don't take this serious. I found it very disrespectful, and I am not part of the parliament members that just say that's a Pelushi thing, because I don't know you personally, and for me, like, I don't find that comment at all professional. So, yeah.
Thank you, Representative Navarro. Next we move to Representative Gianmarco.
All right, Saturday, February 14th, we have Anchorwomen and Anchormen basketball in the Murray Center, 1 and 3 p.m. against University of Southern Maine, which is a conference game, guys. If you could draw a crowd, that would be great. We'll try to too. And conference game, it's big, and team feeds off the energy from the crowd.
Excuse me. Thank you, Representative Gianmarco. Deputy Speaker Trombley.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want a piece of good news that we had. For about a semester now, there's been a water bottle stuck in the vending machine down in the cafe. I don't know if any of you have seen it. You noticed it. Some of you might have.
I tried to get it out.
Many have tried.
It was a long story.
So, last week I noticed it, and I talked with one of the cafe ladies and asked how long it had been there. She said it's been there since I've been here. And she like transferred back and forth to Don, so she said about like 6 months. So that's not as long as I thought. But I went up and I went to I can't even remember where I went. I think it was Services and Conditions and Services, or wherever it was. And I talked with them, and they said that they were going to fix the problem. They called up, I guess, the people who handle the vending machines, and they took care of it. I went down before the meeting, and it's clear. There's no more water bottles stuck in that, so that's good news for people who want to get drinks in the cafe. And so that was my first thing. My second thing is with the snow. I understand, and I'm not trying to, I'm not pointing this at any of the faculty or any of the people who direct that. I'm just saying, as a general thing, it was very good, the amount of snow that they got cleared in such a short time, especially when it was very tough to get that cleared. And they did a very good job about it. The issue is they really shouldn't have let school happen when there was still so much on the ground and so much ice as well, and that's where the issue lies. It's not about any professionalism or any effort on the part of the college to clean it up. It's on the lack of concern for student safety when both driving here for commuters and walking on campus for all students. So I wanted to bring that. And a third thing I just wanted to address, I don't know if I can though, but I want to clear up, I guess, my statements that I made earlier about the integration of Brown, and it feels sort of like I might have offended Representative Goldberg, and I just wanted to say that that was not my intention. I just wanted to say that I know that if you're bringing up that point, Feminists United would also bring up the point, and it would be a big hassle to have to deal with opposition from them, and I didn't want him to have to deal with that if he didn't have to, which I felt he probably shouldn't. So I'm sorry if I offended you or any feminists here, or anyone here. So that is it I have. That is all I have. So.
Okay. With no more issues, I'm seeking a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion, Treasurer Smith. Second.
I'm sorry.
What?
Representative Fade. Is there any discussion on adjourning? With no discussion, we go to a vote. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? We are adjourned. Please stay seated in silence while Secretary Bermudez reads the call.
Robert Santeri Jr.
Here.
Philip Broder.
Aquí.
Robert Smith.
Here.
Laura Howard.
Here.
Laurie Sapita.
Here.
Adam Dutcher. Josh Estrella.
Here.
Adam Faye,
Here.
Brittany Frizzoco, Michael Gianmarco,
Here.
Ashley Goldberg,
Here.
Jarrell James, Jason Johnson,
Here.
Thomas Lima,
Here.
Nathalie Navarro,
Here.
Olivia Phillips,
Here.
Toby Riseborough,
Here.
Derrik Trombley,
Here.
Scott Kane,
Here.
Michelle Boki Bierman, Mark Pialucci,
Here.
Hillary Costa. No, I'm not here. Did I say her last name like that?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good week.
Thank you.